Hi, lovely souls. I'm Karen, your records keeper. And today I want to talk about something I hear all the time in the spiritual space. You've probably heard it too. If you're not manifesting what you want, it means you're blocked. And you know the rest of the script, right? Clear more, heal more, do more shadow work, rewrite your beliefs, fix yourself. And here's what the Akashic Records have taught me again and again over the years. Not everything is a trauma wound. Not everything is a block. Some things are just life. And the more I've worked inside the records, both for myself and my clients, the more I've realized that this constant chase to clear ourselves can actually keep us from growing. We end up circling the same mountain, looking for what's wrong, instead of noticing what's already right. So many sensitive, empathic, or neurodivergent women come to me already tired. They spent years working on themselves. They've done the courses, they've read the books, they've healed the inner child, maybe more than once, and yet they still feel like something must be wrong with them. Because somewhere along the way, we absorb the belief that if life feels hard, it must mean we're doing something wrong, that there's always one more layer to peel back, one more block to clear. One more past life to release before we can finally exhale. But that's not healing. That's hustling for worthiness. I call this the external fix-it loop. And it sounds like I can't start my business until I clear my scarcity block. I can't trust love until I heal my abandonment wound. Or I can't rest until I've earned it. Before you know it, healing has already become a full-time job, one that never actually lets you feel healed. And the irony is, the harder you try to fix yourself, the more broken you feel. When I open the Akashic Records, the first thing that always strikes me is how gentle they are. There's no judgment, no checklist, no cosmic report card with a list of lessons you've failed to learn. The records don't scold you. They hold you. They simply reveal truth from the soul's perspective. And the soul's perspective is very different from the ego's. The ego says something's wrong, fix it. The soul says something's unfolding, let it. Sometimes the records will show me this emotion doesn't belong to you. It's inherited from your lineage. Other times they'll say, this isn't punishment, it's integration. And sometimes it's as simple as you're in a season of stillness because your energy is recalibrating. The records remind us that being human is not a punishment, it's a privilege. Grief, confusion, these are not signs of failure. They're part of the full experience your soul came here to have. As you're not broken, you're alive. And being alive includes all of it, not just the shiny parts. The records help you see the wisdom of what's happening rather than trying to erase it. Now, there was a time in my life a few years ago when I felt completely stuck. I was menopausal. I had no energy. We were still in COVID. I had no motivation, and I couldn't understand why. I thought, what's wrong with me? I've done the work. I've been doing this work for like 25 years. I should be fine. And I convinced myself there must be a block. And of course, I went digging for it because I won't leave it alone. And when I opened up my records, and I was still pretty new at it, the message that came through was so gentle. It took me back. They said, you're not blocked. You're resting. You've been in survival mode for so long that your system doesn't yet believe it's safe to expand. That moment changed everything because I realized that nothing needed fixing. My soul was asking for kindness and my body was asking for rest, and my mind just hadn't caught up yet. So when I stopped trying to force progress and allowed stillness instead, things began to open naturally, without pushing, without clearing. It wasn't a block. It was wisdom waiting to land. What we often need is not another clearing, not another course, not another next step to prove we're growing. What we need is compassion. And what we need is space to breathe. What we need is clarity that reminds us, you are whole, even here. When I read for clients, the Akashic Records often show that their so-called blocks are actually moments of sacred transition, like a chrysalis, dark and still, but full of potential. The Akashic Records hold space for that transformation without judgment. They don't rush you. They don't shame you. They don't label your experience as wrong. They simply reveal what's yours, what's inherited, what's ready to shift, and what's simply part of your path right now. And when you meet yourself with that same energy, something magical happens. Resistance dissolves on its own, because what you accept softens, and what you love heals. So if you've been feeling like you need to fix yourself, or like you're falling behind in your spiritual homework, take a deep breath. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. And the path of the soul is not linear. It spirals. And every time you think you're circling back, you're actually deepening your wisdom. And if this message resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to join me inside the Records Keeper Circle, my cozy, heart-centered community where we explore these truths together. You'll find space to learn, to remember, and most of all, to exhale. Until next time, I'm Karen, the Records Keeper, reminding you that your soul is never asking you to be perfect. It's simply asking you to remember who you are. See you in the next video.